Hi, I'm Lisa Graves Taylor, director of the East River Doula Collective. I'm also founder of and childbirth educator for Birth Matters NYC, a birth doula, lactation counselor, and host of the Birth Matters podcast, which shares mostly New York-based birth stories. I've been doing birth work here in New York City since 2010. As you're expecting a baby, it's really important to thoughtfully plan for support, which is not only needed during pregnancy and giving birth, but also into parenthood. Astoria Doula Collective is here to meet that need. We provide several kinds of doulas: birth doulas, postpartum doulas, full spectrum doulas, even a fertility doula for anyone trying to conceive a baby. Because most folks coming to us are looking for a birth and or postpartum doula, I wanted to just take a few moments to explain the role of each of these, as well as some of the benefits to help you further consider what might be most supportive for you. Because if you're anything like my husband and I were in my first pregnancy, you might not be entirely clear on what the heck a doula is and does, and why hiring one might just be the best investment ever toward protecting your mental and physical health in this journey into parenthood. So first, what's a birth doula? A birth doula is a non-clinical support provider. Just to reduce a common point of confusion, a doula is a different role than a midwife. A midwife is a clinical care provider. They're there to protect the physical health of the birthing parent and the baby. And a birth doula, by contrast, provides all of these other kinds of support in pregnancy and labor and birth, not just in labor. And we provide emotional, physical, strategic, informational support, and we are your personal advocate, kind of like a patient advocate. We help your voice be heard in times when you may feel vulnerable and unable to readily speak up for yourself. I also like to liken a doula to a day of wedding coordinator or a field guide, someone who helps you feel more peaceful and calm through this very new and exciting, but also nerve-wracking process. Did you know that there's evidence that shows birth doulas significantly improve outcomes and satisfaction, as well as reduce rates of multiple kinds of interventions, including pain medications and C-sections? In fact, the main ruling authority over our maternal health care system, American Congress of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, which we call ACOG, stated in 2017 that one evidence-based way we can improve outcomes and reduce unnecessary interventions, which are overused here in the US, is to have doula support. Now, in case you're thinking that doulas are only for folks who want a completely unmedicated birth, that's totally not true. A birth doula is there to honor whatever your very personal preferences are, without judgment. Now, this isn't necessarily true for all doulas outside our collective, but it's a prerequisite for joining Astoria Doula Collective. We value, because our clients value, inclusive, customized support that's without judgment. A birth doula also helps you labor at home for a longer amount of time, which is really important in any birth setting, but particularly strategic when giving birth in a hospital setting. A common concern we hear from partners, where applicable, is, I don't want to hire a doula because I don't want to be replaced. Doulas absolutely do not replace an involved supportive partner. Unless you want to be replaced, that is. And some partners do. We're there to support partners too. We remind you to rest, to hydrate, to eat. We give partners support tips. It's also really nice, important even, to have someone to trade out or team up with as needed, particularly given some labors can be quite long. In the prenatal visit or two that you'll have with your doula, we get to know each other and learn how to best support you personally. We want to fit in as seamlessly and supportively as possible, like the missing puzzle piece. You might be wondering, given birth doulas charge a flat rate, what's included in the package? You'll see subtle variations from one doula contract to the next, but generally, the flat rate you pay for a birth doula covers 1 or 2 prenatal visits, being available to answer questions during pregnancy as needed, being on call 24/7 starting around 37 weeks until you give birth, continuous labor support all the way through to a couple of hours after birth to help bonding and feeding get off to a good start, and an optional postpartum visit. If you take birth class with me, I'll give you lots more specific examples of how golden doula support is. So that's the birth doula's role in a nutshell. Next, what is a postpartum doula? A postpartum doula is a professional who's expert in not only newborn care and infant feeding, including breastfeeding or chest feeding, but is also focused on and expert in supporting the physical and mental health and healing of the postpartum parent. It's a different and more holistic role than that of a baby nanny or a night nurse. They can often help with some light cooking and cleaning, too. Some postpartum doulas work days only, while others do overnights. Postpartum doulas work on an hourly basis, though some offer packages with a certain allotment, and then you can decide on an hourly basis if and how much you might need their services beyond that initial allotment. Some birth doulas are also postpartum doulas, but not all. For those who are, and when you can find a great one for you, having one doula serve in both roles can be a really beautiful continuum of care. Whether you're considering a birth doula or a postpartum doula, or both, I recommend that you make your list of things you'd like to have in a doula and then ask questions based on that list as you're interviewing them. We do recommend interviewing more than one doula just to be sure you're finding the best fit for you. Ask yourself as you're meeting with each doula, would I feel comfortable and safe with this person when I'm at my most vulnerable and possibly even literally naked? Because you very well may be. And this is really going to help you be sure that you're finding the best possible fit for you. The last thing I want to explain today is how we work. The way Astoria Doula Collective works is that we serve as a referral service for you and a community of support and backup for each other. For you, this mostly means that we help determine who might be the best potential doula options for you and then connect you with them so that you can have a complimentary consult with one or more doulas. Our doulas are autonomous, meaning that they set their own rates and their own contract terms. So if you decide to hire any of them, all interactions and negotiations from the introduction point forward would be directly between you and your doula. The two ways to find doula support with us are either to attend one of our free Meet the Doulas events or to complete the quick inquiry form linked on our website. Then we'll respond privately with a list of customized doula options along with their rates. You decide which doulas you'd like to connect with for a complimentary consult, and we coordinate those introductions for you. Nice and easy. It's important to be aware that the 1 or 2 prenatal meetings with your doula won't provide enough time to adequately educate and prepare you, so all of us in the collective feel that the scenario that will best equip you is a team approach. That is, for expectant parents to pursue both birth classes and doula support. To that end, please do take a look around our website, which, if you're not already there, is eastriverdoulas.nyc, for other supportive offerings such as workshops and classes. If you need birth classes, I would be honored to have you in class. Please visit birthmattersnyc.com for a number of options, including group classes, private classes, and an online self-paced version of my all-in-one comprehensive course. Some of the other doulas in our collective also teach birth classes from time to time, mostly privately. Astoria Doula Collective and Birth Matters are passionate about helping growing families have healthier, happier, more fulfilling journeys into parenthood. We would truly love and be honored to serve you in this exciting time in your life, and we hope to connect with you soon to find out what optimal support looks like for you.